After all, he was a person who had died tens of thousands of years ago, and the clothes he was wearing were simply unable to stand the wind. Not only that, but also the bones. With a clatter, the entire skeleton collapsed, and every bone was turned to ash, flying. Xianxia frowned, and Xianxia came out, wrapping the hole on the ground to prevent the violent wind from entering. Forget the clothes, which turned into powder and blown away. He can't let this bone suffer the same thing. If this is the case, then this predecessor will be dead without a burial place. It will be so miserable. Xianxia shot out one by one, and Xianxia took the nearby soil and filled the hole. Carefully, he raised his brows, staring blankly at a certain place in the pothole. A suspicious color flashed across his face, and after a long time, he popped his golden blood thread and shot forward. After the golden blood thread was recovered, Xianxia had an extra bone in his hand. This should be a thumb bone, but it did not break as soon as the other parts of the skeleton when hit by the wind. On the contrary, it was preserved and intact. Although there was no energy fluctuation inside, when Xianxia looked at the bone carefully, he couldn't help showing a look of surprise, and said in surprise, "This is..." There are many mysterious lines and runes covering the finger bone, as if there is a secret inside. Slightly pouring the Xianxia into it, there was not much reaction. Xianxia was puzzled, not knowing the mystery of this bone. Without exploring carefully, Xianxia carefully put it away and continued to fill the pit with dirt. After a while, a tomb was raised on the ground. Xianxia didn't have the thought of worshipping either. After taking a look, he quickly left the mountain valley. There are only these things he can do for the senior, but the bone can be studied carefully. He believed that the senior must have sealed something in his finger bone, so it can survive tens of thousands of years. Speeding along the way, Xianxia looked for the direction and rushed towards the Emperor Garden. Passing along the road, the wind were calm and quiet. There was no unexpected situation. For Xianxia, although a little time was wasted on the previous trip to the mountain valley, it was still acceptable compared with the huge gain. But he also made up his mind, even if there was anything else, he was not ready to get mixed up. Just thinking about entering the Emperor Garden quickly. But he don't know what's going on. The closer he gets to the Emperor Garden, the more Xianxia can smell the stormy aura. Many cultivators ambush the periphery of the Emperor Garden, trying to attack people who go deep inside or come out from the inside. And over time, Xianxia could even see many cultivators fighting in groups, fighting extremely fiercely. There were also people who wanted to stop him, but they were easily thrown away by Xianxia. After thinking about it carefully, Xianxia immediately understood what was going on. According to Xianxia of Azure Tree Star, there are many crises within the Emperor Garden. They also had to flee because of heavy losses, looking for opportunities outside. Those cultivators who were ambushing outside the Emperor Garden obviously also knew the situation inside the Emperor Garden, so they wanted to stand by and rob the cultivators who passed by. In this way, not only can you easily get some gains, but there is no need to take the risks. That's why the situation near the Emperor Garden was treacherous and murderous. It took Xianxia a lot of effort to break through the ambush of those people. 3 days later, Xianxia stood on a slope, looking at the magnificent and majestic palace in front of him. Emperor Garden. He finally saw the magical power of the Emperor's Garden with his own eyes. This other courtyard of the starry sky great emperor was actually suspended in the air. Looking around, he couldn't see where the end was, as if it occupied a radius of tens of thousands of miles. The last time he was inside the Emperor Garden, it was far less profound than this time. At this moment, even if he was thousands of miles away from the Emperor Garden, Xianxia could feel the ancient and desolate aura coming from there, and that aura permeated the surroundings. It makes people feel like they are in the ancient wilderness. There is no safety at all. Where is the entrance? Xianxia frowned, but soon he locked it position. Over there, colorful rays of light bloom, violent energy fluctuations one after another, and many small black spots are fluttering up and down in midair. Obviously, many people are fighting. The closer it is to the Emperor Garden, the more chaotic it becomes. The opening of the Emperor Garden faces the entire star territory. Now that the cultivators of the major cultivation stars meet together, there are naturally many frictions and struggles. And if Xianxia didn't guess wrong, then the most intense position of the fight should be the location where the entrance to the Emperor Garden was located. When he thought of this, he didn't hesitate, and he flew over there in a flash. After half a fragrant incense time, Xianxia has gradually approached the battlefield. Observing the melee here up close is even more shocking. There are at least hundreds of cultivators participating in the battle. Most of them are Void Return stage. There is also the Saint King stage here, which is also the cultivation level of 3rd order Saint King stage, and was led here by his elder. These people wear different uniform, and they have different levels of cultivation level, but they are all fighting in bloody battle. Some people want to make a bloody way and rush into the palace. Some want to leave here, and some just want to get rid of the chaos of the world, and kill people and make money. From time to time, there were screams, blood splattered, and a corpse fell down from midair. It is obviously impossible to pass safely in such a chaotic place. Xianxia's expression was extremely gloomy. Although he was good at strength and capable of fighting 3rd order Void Return stage, he was not sure that he would pass through such a chaotic place. If he was not careful, he would be drawn into the vortex of battle involuntarily. And looking up, Xianxia's expression was happy again. As expected, the entrance to the Emperor Garden was indeed not far from here. At the huge palace, there was a door opening several tons of meters high. Then, a gleam of light inside the gate made people unable to see what was inside, but there was a sense of mystery that evoked the desire of the cultivators to enter this gate. Just when Xianxia hesitated whether to force the past with speed, he suddenly seemed to be sensing something, turning his head and looking in one direction. Over there, a bright blue rainbow was approaching quickly. Although it hadn't come close, the coercion like a turbulent wave crashed towards this side. Every cultivator who was fighting was shocked, stopped one after another, and looked over there. After a while, it reached the edge of the chaotic battlefield, the light dissipated, revealing the 6 or 7 figures hidden inside. After being aware of the cultivation level of these 6 or 7 people, everyone present face changed their color. These people are male and female, old and young, but only one has the cultivation level of the 2nd order Void Return stage realm, and the others are all 3rd order Void Return stage. Such a strong lineup, although dare not say that it can sweep everyone in front, but it is not something the stragglers can resist. These people are clearly the elite of a certain major force. After seeing the uniform worn by those people, someone even exclaimed, "Constant Gathering Chamber of Commerce." Hearing the call, everyone showed their fearful look. The Constant Gathering Chamber of Commerce is also a well-known existence in the entire star territory. It is one of the few superpowers that controls the existence of several cultivation stars. There have more than a dozen people in the Void King realm alone. There is even more rumors that the leader of the Constant Gathering Chamber of Commerce, President Io, has reached the peak of the 2nd order Void King realm, and he can be promoted to the 3rd order Void King realm in just one step. That is the existence that makes the entire star territory look up. So when they saw the people of the Constant Gathering Chamber of Commerce, each of those cultivators became extremely honest, and did not dare to make any mistakes. But Xianxia looked shocked, looking at one of those people, his heart beating wildly. His face is like a crown of jade, his lips are painted vermilion, his body is long, his skin is a little too fair, it is not an exaggeration to describe it as deceitful snow, his face is hung with a faint smile, which makes people involuntarily give birth to a sense of intimacy. His cultivation level is in the 2nd order Void Return stage, and the strength is the lowest among the group of people, but he is like the most dazzling star, surrounded by other powerful stars like a moon, attracting everyone's attention. Those strong people of 3rd order Void Return stage were suddenly overshadowed in front of him. Any woman will fall in love with him, not only for his outstanding appearance but also for his temperament, like a bright light, attracting moths to move forward. Shui Yu. In the Star Territory, the constant gathering chamber of commerce, Shuiyu third young master. Yang Kai didn't expect that he could not meet Su Yan here, but he would meet his enemy here. What a coincidence. Yang Kai came here late because he was delayed outside for 10 days after the Emperor Garden was opened. Why did Shuiyu not arrive at the Emperor Garden until now? Yang Kai didn't know what he did after he came in, but he definitely didn't want the other party to notice him. There was no other reason. There was a bit of grievances between Yang Kai and Shuiyu, and he also knew an unknown secret of Shuiyu. He looks like a jade tree facing the wind, and is charming. Shuiyu third young master, who has fascinated thousands of young girls in the Star Territory, is actually a woman. If this news is spread, I don't know how many young girls will be sad, let alone how many young women will cry bitterly. The grievance between the two is not only that Yang Kai knows her secret, the two have also had many unknown and inhumane encounters, such as on the Death Star. The two of them had broken clothes and hugged while being naked together. But they were actually trying to kill each other and wanted to put each other to death. As a result, under a stalemate, Shuiyu used the secret technique of life chains to link the lives of the two people together to resolve the crisis. Because of this secret technique, Yang Kai had to find ways to save Shuiyu's life in the past, and for this he also suffered a lot and almost fell with her. Although Shuiyu's perception of Yang Kai has improved a lot in subsequent contacts, people like her will not allow Yang Kai to wander around with her secrets, in case Yang Kai accidentally leaked the secret out with careless move, and the result would be unimaginable. To be continued.